So here we are again, boys and girls. We have a new 3/16 wall, 2-inch aluminum tube that just fits nice into there. We've got our scale calibrated, and it's reading 0 pounds right now. Actually, it's reading -1 pound, so it's a little bit out. And now we're up to 60. So what I'm basically waiting for is something to break. I've got a 1/4-inch plate on both sides of both of these. This is 1/8-inch wall, this is 1/8-inch wall. So last time we ended up bending this. We were at 700 pounds or something like that, which is 4.5 feet, like 200 pounds or so. So I'm going to go straight to 150 because I'm not really expecting anything to happen much before that. Okay, we went up to 80 pounds. Just stuck with that. So contact point I should measure. So from the inside edge here, and these are bolted joints. There's a little bit of slop in the holes. That's why it's so much of an angle right now. We are at 50. I'm going to call it 53.5 inches for our contact point, and I'm going to go up here. Okay, we're at our full extent, and we've got just under 100 pounds on the scale. 110. Just going to check our distance. If we need to move things. Oh, I'd say we're at 54, not 53.5 anymore. We're at 110. Okay, as scary as it is, here we have 2 sets of paint cans. Doesn't seem to be quite level. As soon as we put some pressure on it, I'm sure it will pull down. We're at 0 pounds. We are going to drop it. I'm going to put these like feet on either side. A little closer together so that I can get this thing in between. Okay, we're going to drop the hydraulics again. Okay, that was the joint over here that was making noises. We are at 95 pounds. Better start another video. 120. Okay, we definitely broke something there. By the angle, I would, oh yeah, and by just inspection. So this vertical tube, we've got a 2-inch structural, and we've got a 2-inch architectural, another 2-inch architectural in our test joint. The side wall, the one facing us, appears to have buckled, or the tube on the bottom is buckled. I'm not sure which, but this is the spot where I expect that I'm hearing the bad noises come from. Anyway, we were at 120, 125, and actually we're still at 125. It is Tuesday, March 3rd, March 4th. We're just getting to take a look at how much damage and what kind of damage was done on the bolt together joint last weekend. So this side split apart, and in order for it to go apart this far, I'm expecting that the other side crushed. So you see in there isn't very much. It looks like right here there's deforming of the metal, And that's about all I'm going to see until I take it apart. So this is the part of the joint that I didn't really expect there to be any damage. I don't see any crushing on this edge. That's the way it was being forced. I'll check the holes in like this, like this. So I'll check the holes to see if anything was rounded out, or made into a oblong when it started out as a circle. This is the part that I expected to be damaged, and pull this out. You can see that the make sure that's visible. There we go. You can see that in here, this edge actually began to crush. Has a maybe square will help. Okay, how about this way? There, that gives you a little bit more. You can see that this edge, this corner right here, is bent outward from the tube, and on the top part, see if I can make it so you can see daylight in between. No, there you go. There's the aluminum behind. You can see daylight in there. So when I put this in here, I got an 1/8 of an inch gap in there. So this edge started to crush. So that was the failure. The biggest part of the failure. Zoom out a little bit. So this tube was lying like this. The crush on the aluminum tube for the vertical section cut into here, but it doesn't look like it has any deflection. There's the truck. Here's the edge, so alright, show it. Well, okay, I guess it did deform a little bit. I'll bring that up. Of course you can't see that. There you can see. So this is where the tube was pushing down into, or the vertical tube was pushing down into the horizontal tube, and you can see that there was actually a deflection there. That you shouldn't be able to see daylight through that. So yeah, I guess this portion had some failure as well. I'm gonna go get the transfer punches and see if any of the holes became oval. So for this one, what was on the bottom, the transfer punch fits nice and tight. In fact, too tight in some cases. Right here, this one doesn't want to go in at all, and this one doesn't want to go in at all. So, not sure what happened there exactly. I'll go in the back. I just don't. There must be a little bit of an edge on the front here. Doesn't want to go into. But I would say that the 1/4 inch triangular plate on the bottom is fine. It didn't deform. Can't get into any of these. That one I can get into, and that one. We're going to try these from the back. And again, it looks like there's a little bit of an edge on the top. So I don't know whether I tightened them down too much or what the story was, but none of these became elongated. So I would say that the triangular pieces did not fail as part of the bending process. The thing that failed was the vertical tube, and this hole perhaps a little bit. It's got a little bit of a wobble back and forth, and it won't quite go the other way. There. So these, again, this fits nice and it's tight. Doesn't wiggle at all. So this, where it's fit in nice, has a little bit of wiggle room around it. This one where it basically won't. I've got some wiggle room this way, none this way. So perhaps it's beginning to show some signs of fatigue. So in order to find the limit on the tubes that we have, I believe we found it. We found the limit on this started to deflect in. We found the limit on this edge beginning to crush. So I can do it on a thicker sidewall. I can repeat the test on the thicker sidewall, but I don't really think it's worth it. We're not really looking to increase the sidewall of the whole of the tube in the entire car from the 1/8 inch that we're using to a 3/8 or a quarter. So although I could run the test, I don't really see the point. So that's kind of a wrap, I believe, for this this section of the bolt together testing. Unless someone has some specific questions that I can devise a test for and answer, I would say it's a wrap.